I am here in Farr West at the Smith Family Park with former Representative Matt Gwynn and Roy City Chief of Police. Thank you for meeting with me and taking some time out of your busy life.
You're welcome,
Appreciate
Katrina.
it. You've done a lot for Weber County. What are some things, is there anything you'd like to highlight with your legislative time?
Well, my legislative time, I was pretty siloed with public safety, right? I did spend some time on the political subdivisions committee working on like zoning issues and other policy issues as relates to political subdivisions, but most of my focus was on public safety. And so how does that relate to Weber County? We have a CJC here in Weber County. It's the Children's Justice Center. This is where kids who are physically or sexually abused or who are witnesses to pretty abhorrent crimes go to be interviewed, have exams done if necessary, unfortunately, and they interact with social workers, they interact with DCFS. Hopefully they're not having to interact with law enforcement directly at the Children's Justice Center. But every year the CJCs have to come to the legislature and ask for funding, and they would typically get one-time funding. They would have to ask for it every year, year after year. Well, this year, before I left the legislature, we were actually able to secure them some ongoing funding to reduce the requirement that they're going to have to come down every year and ask for this money. CJCs are statutorily in place. It made no sense to me to require them to exist and then not fund them. So we funded them this year.
Oh, that's a great undertaking and very beneficial to the society. I've heard of those things with CJC. I've heard some of the stories, and that's a big impact on them to help them so that they don't have to come and ask for that money each year.
Yeah, it allows for the administrators and the employees to focus on taking care of kids instead of coming down and asking for money every year. I'd rather have them focus their time on helping families than having to come down and deal with the bureaucracy of the state.
Yes, that's great. So how long have you lived in Weber County?
My entire life, minus my 4-year stint in the military.
Oh, well, thank you for your military time. We appreciate that and don't want that to be forgotten because that is a big sacrifice. We appreciate that very much. What do you love best about Weber County?
Anything I want to do recreationally, I don't have to go very far, right? I can go to the Upper Valley, ride my bike. I can run around the trail at a park such as this. I can go out on my back porch and enjoy a western Weber County sunset. So anything I'd like to do recreationally, physically, is really close. All my family's here in Weber County, all born and raised, and so I have no reason to go anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, isn't it? What matters most to you, and what are some challenges that you deal with?
So, having been in law enforcement in this county for over 2 decades now, and I actually started with the sheriff's office. But as I watch things play out in public safety as it relates to the county, it seems like, whether true or not, and whether it ebbs and flows, right, as for others to answer, but from my perspective and from what I have heard and observed, there seems to be this antagonistic relationship between the county commission and the sheriff's office. And, the county commission has their role. The elected sheriff has his role. Right. And I think sometimes the sheriff would like to implement policy, but he gets kind of hamstrung because of funding that the county commission is responsible for. And so it's really hard for an elected sheriff to get the things that they want done when, there's some conflict with another elected body. And so I'd like to see that kind of be repaired or evolve into something where the two bodies can, get along perhaps and prioritize public safety.
I agree. The sheriff's office is a huge part of the county budget. What goes on there impacts the whole county. If the people here don't feel safe because of maybe lack of resources or tools or equipment, whatever they are in need of, people won't want to be here in Weber County. And so we do need to make sure that the commission role is working closely with the sheriff department, has good conversations with them, and is able to understand each other. Like you said, they may not agree on everything, but at least they'll come to a good understanding.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they hate one another, but it just seems like there's an awful lot of conflict that could go away, right, and work together. That was a pretty easy way to put it, right? Just work together. It doesn't mean you're not going to disagree, but from the outside, it looks like they're just constant tussle with one another. It's kind of frustrating to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you've lived here your whole life. let's look ahead and see what would you like Weber County to look like in 10 years?
What do I want Weber County to look like in 10 years? Well, my neighborhood's built out, so it's probably not going to change. Western Weber County, we still have some open space, right? We still have heritage. I'm glad that this space again was preserved. I'm glad that we had the ability to do that when I was on the Farr West City Council. Growth it's coming, right? There's nothing we're going to be able to do to stop it. So we need to manage it responsibly, right? And that's being intentional about preserving open space. It's being intentional about addressing public safety needs as they grow with our population, right? And it's making sure that people who are heavily involved recreationally have a seat at the table when we look at development in West Weber County, right? Because, people look at West Weber County as, just farmland and agricultural. It doesn't appear that it's going to be that way for too long, but there are other recreational opportunities out there. There's actually an RC park out there that possibly could be encroached on. And so, preserving the intent of some of those spaces out there that are already zoned are some of the things that I would be particularly concerned about.
Right. Yeah, I think long term.
I don't know if I answered your question. A long way to get nowhere.
That's all right. Yes, long-term planning for these areas, like you said, managing them, that's going to be important, and getting public input. Let's listen to the people. Let's go off of what their master plans say that they wanted, that they agreed on and created in their own communities. Let's take a look at that and make sure we're doing what the people of those communities want most in their areas. Well, so you've had a public voice and you've been able to speak out and have say in a lot of things, but how do we make sure people have a voice in the county?
Well, that's been the struggle with public service that I think every elected representative is gonna battle, right? And it's fascinating that there's always this push from the public to get information, and I didn't know about this and I didn't know about that. And no matter how much we as elected officials push out that information, it seems that it doesn't always get to the right place at the right time, right? And so while it is going to be an ongoing battle, it's just one you have to continue to fight, right? Reminding people that social media is there, and there are several social media platforms now, right? They can contact their elected representatives, directly by phone or by email, right? There's the public notices, the state website. So there's a variety of ways in which people can get their information. Unfortunately, they have to be motivated to go look for the information.
We've got to use it.
Yeah, got to use it.
Right. Well, thank you, Mr. Gwynne. I appreciate your time. Tell your family hello, and thank you for your time, your service in the military, your service to the public, to what's going on in our county. We appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you. It was fun.
And so this is Conversations with Katrina, and this is another voice from Weber County, and we will see you again soon.